turned a 57.5-second lap time to get himself back up into contention. He's got a little pre-race ritual he usually runs through. He might have already done it. He claps his hands, sticks his arms out straight, gets himself focused on this race.
Jeremy McGrath with a 32-point lead with 4 races left to go, including this one here tonight from Texas Stadium. There's number 14, Kevin Windham.
And right between the guys that I feel like are the contenders for this main event is LaRocco.
Sideways, we're ready to go for our main event from Texas Stadium. The whole shot winner, Jeremy McGrath, has gone down.
Wyndham is in first and McGrath is in last. That was a complete accident. They got together, different lines.
Wyndham taking the lead. Number 14 comes out of the blue groove and into that great timing section.
Well, what Wyndham was doing was jumping out of that inside corner. It was a faster line. McGrath was a little caught off guard by it. Watch Wyndham, he'll jump up over that double while McGrath's still going up in the air. He lands right on the back of his bike. It wasn't a dirty move or anything. It just had circumstances for Jeremy.
And you saw in that picture, McGrath just face planted right into the hillside. He gets the hole shot money, the Yahoo.com hole shot money, but this young man, Kevin Windham, is looking for his first win on the season, gets a tremendous jump on the field.
He already has a 6-second lead over Huffman in second. Villeman closing in on him. You see Huffman get all sideways there trying to hold that inside. And this place looks like a street in some places.
It really does. Here's Huffman, number 20 of Team Suzuki, and David Villeman, number 934 of Team Yamaha.
Villeman getting a little hop there into the corner. The guy corners so perfect. He doesn't necessarily do it in the most correct position. He kind of sits farther back on the seat than most guys. He dangles his leg out there and drags his foot. Man, is he effective.
After the hole shot and the crash, Jeremy McGrath was in last place. He's now moving up to 18.
He just tripled all the way down into that corner there. That's the line you expect to see these guys doing out front. He's in traffic doing that stuff.
This is going to be fascinating to see how far Jeremy McGrath can cut through the field in 20 laps.
Well, my guess is pretty far. He's already knifed through about 5 or 6 guys.
Kevin Windham, though, is keeping up his lap time despite his fine lead out front. Number 14, without a win this year, 3 podiums. No hole shots is the surprising fact for Windham this year.
Well, now Kevin could experience a little bit of what LaRocco's experienced this season when he finally does beat McGrath. Villeman beats him. So if Kevin doesn't stay on those 58-second lap times consistent and ride a perfect race from here on out, Villeman is back there and he's dangerous.
Wyndham, number 14 of Team Honda, has shown us the confidence, though, in the last couple of races. Jeremy McGrath, though, you just never can count him out. I remember in San Jose in the 125s, he was in last place out of the first turn and came back in 15 laps to cut through the entire field. Back in 1992, I believe that was it. From last to first in 15 laps.
You see how fast he just went by Shane King on that 4-stroke. There's his friend Grayson Goodman. He's actually staying with Grayson this week.
Grayson Goodman's in 12th, and now he's in 13th.
Well, you know, Jeremy is a little bit concerned about that points lead dipping under 25 points. For him, 25-point lead is about the same as that 10-point lead we saw in the 125. It's just too close. So he is going to work his tail off here to try to preserve that. You know, he's realistic. He knows a win here, unless those guys out front make big mistakes, is probably out of the question. But for him to get up on the podium is a possibility.
Here's Windham once again, putting it back together. His last win was right here in this stadium. Last week he hit the podium for the first time since the 22nd of January. His heat win over McGrath and RC was a tremendous accomplishment.
Watch right here, coming out of that corner, he got on the gas a little bit too hard too soon. There's a lot of dust over the main groove, and he that mistake in the corner wrecked his momentum in the approach to the whoops, and he lost his momentum through there, and Villeman closed the gap a little bit more.
Already Jeremy McGrath has moved up into 12th and is looking at Robbie Raynard, number 11.
What's just amazing is out front, both Villeman and Wyndham now have dipped down under 58 seconds. They're running 57.5. They're pushing each other to their max.
There's Mike LaRocco cutting through the picture in 6th place. Number 5.
LaRocco got beat out of the gate so bad by Wyndham and McGrath. And they were half a bike length ahead of him in the first 5 feet.
Brock Sellards and Tortelli going at it behind him. Tortelli, number 21. Brock Sellards, number 18, the 125 rider.
This is the 2nd week in a row he's been up there looking. Well, actually, that was going back to the Minneapolis round when he was holding Jeremy off for a little while there. I think if somebody just told Tortelli he was a great Supercross rider, he might do better.
He works hard at it. There's no question about that.
All the practice sessions, he's right there. The lap times are there. He's got the equipment. He's got the experience now. He's won a Supercross before.
Look at here, Ricky Carmichael and David Huffman. He comes off the pegs on that green Kawasaki, trying to get by David Huffman for 3rd place. Ricky Carmichael. Huffman lets him through. And Carmichael in the whoops, David.
We've already heard Carmichael talk about how important it was to him to finish on that podium from here on out. And right there, he puts himself in position.
He feels he can run the rest of the year out on the podium, and he's looking like it right now. People have accomplished a great turnaround this season and would like an indoor win, of course, before the season is out to go with Daytona. But he feels that he must let the win come to him.
Got to be a little bit more patient. Yeah, look at Wyndham tripling that. That's after the triple, and here he comes up to another triple. These guys are probably spending almost as much time in the air on this racetrack as they do on the ground, and when they're on the ground, it's slick.
In his last lap, he was 0.5 of a second, David, quicker than David Villeman in 2nd place, so he's stepping it up a bit, knowing that pressure is there.
Well, the nerves will be a problem for Kevin Wyndham if Villeman can close the gap. If he can realize that gap is staying the same and he can control that pace, nerves will not be a problem. He'll start feeling confident, and when this guy's confident, look out.
Oh, I hate to break away at any time from Texas Stadium with what we've seen here tonight, but we'll be right back with the replays if anything happens. We're back at Texas Stadium. It is round 13 of EA Sports Supercross. Our leader is number 14, Kevin Wyndham. But for how long? He's not running as fast a laps as Villeman, Carmichael, or Jeremy McGrath. And he's got a long way to go. We're in our 9th lap right now. Jeremy McGrath is making his move.
McGrath, every time he passes somebody, the crowd is so behind him. And a little bit ago, he had a close encounter with a lapped rider working through the whoops. Here he is trying to get around Larry Ward, and watch how close this gets. Boom. Keeps it upright. That's the McGrath we're used to see him shake his head a little bit there as he worked his way around.
We've seen him get through tight spots, though, especially in the starts with great ease.
Well, Davey Coombs brought it up earlier that McGrath seems to have this halo over him where whenever it's a sticky situation, he always comes out smelling good, and finally he goes down.
8 wins and 10 podiums this year. Nothing worse than 4th place. And he has started from last place in this race.
And you know what? With 4th place being Damon Huffman, McGrath has definitely got the intimidation over Damon, and if he looks back there and sees him closing a little bit, that's just going to make it even worse. McGrath couldn't get up to 4th.
What's going to be interesting, too, I think, is when he gets to Villeman and Wyndham. Both are very good riders, but especially Villeman when he's out in front. He doesn't pressure too much.
Well, Villeman is just a rock. He's so solid. He's not the kind of guy that makes a big mistake all of a sudden. You know, like we've seen from Carmichael over the years, or even from Kevin Wyndham leading races, and then all of a sudden he starts to fade and get tired or arm pump. Right now he's past the point in the race where I would expect that to happen. He's actually opened up his lead over Villeman now, so I think he can color Kevin gone.
That's right, David. He's cut down his lap time on that last lap. Much better than the 3 behind him. Let's go to Davey.
This race is not exactly a mud race by any means. You have to admit it is like an ice skating rink out here. As we saw last year in the Outdoor Nationals, Kevin Windham is arguably the best outdoor mud rider in America right now, and that's the same rep that Billman carries in Europe. That's how slick this track is. The mud riders are excelling.
It's a great point. The throttle control out here on all that shiny soil right there is just as bad as riding in the mud. Takes the same kind of technique and throttle control.
We saw Shane Drew, the mechanic of Sebastian Tortelli, waving Windham on. Why? Because this would be the first victory for Honda since Lusk last year in Indianapolis.
And you know what? The last 2 years in this stadium, Honda has won. So Kevin talked after the heat race earlier with Davey about how the Hondas are working well on this hard, slick surface. I've seen their test track, and I've ridden Hondas. I know how they hook up. They definitely are working well here tonight.
It could come down to a matter of endurance as well with Windham, Villeman, Carmichael, Huffman, and McGrath as we take a look at number 14, doing a masterful job of picking it up, as number 1 certainly has, from last to 5th place, Jeremy McGrath.
Watch him through here. Triples there. Comes up a little bit short, so he can't triple this. So at the last second, he decides to go to the inside so he can double-double. The guy's reflexes are so quick. He knows just what he's got to do. A friend of mine always said it's not the guy that's the fastest always, but the guy that slows down the least. And Jeremy he has that momentum everywhere, and he recognizes when he makes a mistake what he needs to do to correct it and not lose time.
8 laps to go for Jeremy McGrath to pick it up more. He's had his good times and his bad times. He won his very first race here in Dallas his rookie year.
Look how sideways he's getting through there. It's just a controlled slide all the way around this racetrack. You have to get comfortable with that. I talked to his mechanic this afternoon, Randy Lawrence, about the tire. I go, boy, this place is chunking that rear tire, and he just kind of laughed. He goes, not as bad as our test track. So Jeremy's comfortable with this.
There's Damon Huffman. Huffman in 4th, right in front of him, and he's within a good shot distance now. He's zeroing in on Damon Huffman coming through those triples.
Yeah, that's where he finished it off and tripled into the corner, triples that, and look how much ground he pulls up, and the crowd is on its feet.
Jeremy McGrath with 2 wins here at Texas Stadium. The king of Texas Stadium, incidentally, only has 3 wins. Ricky Johnson. And my partner David Bailey interrupted those 3 wins with a win of his own. So as McGrath tries for a podium. We'll be right back with more action from Texas Stadium in a moment. After 16 of 20 laps, number 14, Kevin Windham, still holds on to the lead here at Texas Stadium. Kevin looking for his first victory of the season, his 6th career Supercross victory. But number 1, Jeremy McGrath, continues to pour on lap after lap and cutting times down. He's got Villeman and Carmichael behind Windham in front of him. And that might be quite a chore to hit that podium.
As McGrath comes out of the corner on that straightaway, Carmichael's just at the very end of it. So if he continues to pick up a half a second here, half a second there. Here's the pass on Damon Huffman just down the inside. No contest there. I think Huffman could feel him coming and just said, you know what, I don't really want to deal with that kind of pressure at this point in the race. Go ahead.
So Damon Huffman now moves back to 6th. Mike LaRocco passing him. LaRocco seemed to just go with Jeremy McGrath through this
He's trying to. He's up into the inside the top 5. The top 5 doesn't surprise me. The order of it does.
Jeremy McGrath using every ounce of energy he has to try to get within the podium and maybe striking distance.
Well, I mean, look how hard it is. He's just coming into that corner trying to push it a little bit more, and look what happens. You lose time. You've got to be so patient out here, and when he's got that much ground to make up, being patient with panic, they don't go together. But Jeremy's got a pretty good mixture now, and he just closed a little bit closer to Carmichael.
We mentioned that Kevin Windham won here last year, but in 1998, our leader in this race, number 14, broke his collarbone in qualifying. You might remember that. In 1997, he put the capper on his 125 West title, and he led all 15 laps of that particular race. So in his 2 wins in 3 years here, he's led every lap.
Well, something about this place.
And the timing of the season for Kevin Windham.
Oh, it's great timing right now. He talked to him a little bit last week. He's real excited about the outdoors. He's starting to feel good. He needed to get a win like this under his belt to have that kind of confidence, because he knows Villeman and Tortelli and Carmichael, McGrath at the first round of that Outdoor National Series at Glen Helen. That's going to be just amazing.
How important would this be to Honda?
Well, this is something that Cliff White, I'm sure, is going to have a little bit of weight lifted off his shoulders, because except for McGrath, he's assembled the best guy. And Lusk getting hurt in the first round, that hurt. And Kevin not riding to his potential, that hurt. Tortelli not filling in the blanks, that hurt even worse. And Honda management, just like any company, they're over there in Japan going, what's going on over there? Why can't we win?
So it's still Kevin Windham, number 14, David Villeman in second place, Ricky Carmichael in third as Jeremy McGrath tries his darndest to get on the podium. But right now, the eyes are on number 14. He's not making those mistakes that one needs to catch up.
Well, he is just in a zone today. You could see it. Actually, the first practice, I was really thinking, boy, McGrath is going to ruin these guys. In the second practice, I was so impressed with Kevin.
Heath Voss, number 33, right behind Kevin Windham. Let's watch.
Well, Kevin just came around to lap him. See him get out over that. Working his way into the triple.
Looks like they're riding on a schoolyard here.
Yeah, it is so difficult. All that loose stuff. Look at the trouble that Voss has right there, and Kevin opens up that gap.
Heath Voss, the top privateer.
So you used to be able to see Kevin Windham in our shot. Now he's gone. That's all it took. One mistake through the whoops.
But our thanks to Heath Voss as well for that helmet cam. One lap to go, and Kevin Windham will become the fourth different rider to win this year. It will be Honda's first victory.
Heel clickers for everybody. Yamaha has dominated this series. Kawasaki grabbed Daytona, and now Honda enters the picture.
One more lap for number 14.
Now, he rode a gutsy race right through the middle when Villeman was really putting on the heat. Kevin needed to click off a fast lap to just show Kevin, to show himself and Villeman rather, that he could do it. I think he broke the spirit of Villeman. Villeman started racing for second. That's all Kevin needed, to be able to settle down and realize he was in control.
Ali Seymour is mechanic with a slight smile.
This is going to be a big cross-up.
Oh, what a relief it is for Kevin Windham and Honda. Good job, Ali Seymour, as he high-fives his rider, Kevin Windham. Jeff Stanton coming over to give him a big hug. It's been a while since Honda hit the top spot on the podium. And Kevin Windham comes through here at Texas Stadium for the second straight year.